What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Storm Collectibles Injustice Gods Among Us Bane. And so here we have Bane posing out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually have a look at his accessories. Bane unfortunately doesn't come with too much, but he comes with exactly what you would expect him to come with. Bane does come with 3 pairs of hands. We do get a giant pair of fists. We do get a giant pair of clinching hands, and we get a giant pair of style pose hands. And yes, I do mean giant because Bane here is a beast of a figure, and we'll go on with his details right now. So with his accessories out of the way, let's have a closer look at Bane. And so here we have a closer look at the Injustice Bane. Now this isn't a classic Bane. I do like what they did here with the Injustice Bane, and that was a really good choice to go with. So we do have a look at his mask, and it is really reminiscent of Bane's actual mask. You can see it still has the stitch work going around it, except instead of being white, it's actually a really dark gunmetal gray. We do have some silver on the outside of the eyes, and then we also do get the red lenses, which is what Bane is known for. You can see on the top of his helmet or mask that it does have a zipper, and it does feed into the venom tubes. Just love the sculpting on his helmet. I keep wanting to say helmet, but it's actually a mask. His mask has a lot of nice little details onto it. All the wrinkles are sculpted nicely. Even the seam lines are sculpted on it. And if the camera will focus, you can see the seam lines are sculpted nicely, as well as a zipper going all the way back. We do have 3 venom tubes feeding onto the back of his skull. So overall, just a really good look for Bane. Moving on to his torso, you can see his neck is all stretched out. You can see exactly how much his skin is stretching over it, and it looks really menacing. I do like that. We do have some venom tubes coming to his chest. As you can see, they do go all the way to the backpack that he has on him. Right here we do have the control module for Bane's venom. In the game at the start of the match, Bane would slap his chest, activating the venom, and it starts pumping through his body. So I do like the fact that it's a center piece. I know why they did it, just so it was easier for the developers. We of course do get an armband, which Bane normally does have an armband on his left arm, but because he has venom tubes on both sides, you can see we get venom or the arm straps going on both arms as well. So that looks really good. Really love his flak jacket that he's wearing. There's some hints of the Dark Knight Bane in there because it does look a little bit tactical. Moving on to the back, where you can see his backpack is done really well. I just love this really dark bronze gunmetal wear and tear that it has on it. It looks really worn. It looks like metal. Even though it's a really soft plastic, I love the fact that it looks like metal. And even right here, I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be like the same color as the tubes, but this wasn't molded in that same plastic, so they just painted on a metallic green. I do like the way it looks, and then these should light up. If I'm correct, those are actually lights. We have some more venom tubes running to his legs right here, and then these ones just, of course, dangle. They don't really connect into anything. Having a look at his arms, just look at how veiny his arms are, and that's pretty accurate to when you activate the venom in-game. Oh my goodness, there's just so much to love about this figure. Just the sculpt work on his arms look good. You can see some more venom tubes from his arms going into the backpack. He has some really big gauntlets right here. As you can see, they do have some spikes right there going all the way around his massive forearms. He has a pair of duster knuckles right here, and they're really nicely sculpted. They look like they would really hurt, and they're actually made of a soft rubber, but they're still kind of hard and dense, so do be careful. Don't be pressing on those too much. Just loving the detail on this Bane. All the metal parts look worn, so I do like that. You can see he does have a belt right here, along with some more canisters. I'm pretty sure that contains more venom. Going onto his legs, so we have some venom tubes going from the backpack to his legs. Now, I do want to warn you that these are actually glued onto the back, but it looks like they're just glued on with the paint, so these might actually come off. I've only had one come off, And it's really hard to peg in because it's soft plastic going into soft plastic. So do be aware of that when you're messing around with your Bane. He does have these really big legs, as you can see. We have some straps going on his thighs. His legs do seem a little bit small, but that's actually how he looked in-game, so yeah, it's pretty accurate to the game. Just love all the sculpt work that you see, especially right here in his pants. He has some really big knee pads, which again, really love that worn metal look. It's really well done. Storm Collectibles excels at that worn metal. We do have some zippers going on his boots, pants. I think that's how he gets the pants on. There's a zipper that goes down to keep them in place. I don't know, but it looks good. He's actually hitting the top of my studio right now, but those boots are actually nicely done. You can see he has some guards right here on his feet. On the back of his foot there's another guard, and it is studded, so there's a spike there. And then he does have spiked-toed boots, which those look really nice. Do be careful because those are hard plastic and there's no give to those. So overall, Bane here has an exceptional amount of detail, and Storm Collectibles has knocked it out of the park with this figure. Now, one thing I did say is that he has massive hands, and we're actually going to go through that right now with the comparisons, just so you can get a sheer scale of how big this figure is. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get him compared to other figure lines. Here we do have the Injustice Bane posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Bane posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Bane posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. Here we have Bane posed next to a Storm Collectibles Mortal Kombat 2 style Ninja and a Storm Collectibles Street Fighter V Ken. Here we have the Storm Collectibles Bane posed next to the DC Universe Classics Build-A-Figure Bane. And finally, here we have the Storm Collectibles Bane posed next to the Storm Collectibles Goro. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually have a look at Bane's articulation. Now, despite being a massive figure, he actually has some really good articulation. Let's actually start with his head. His head is on a ball joint, and he can look up and down on that ball joint. We do have some head tilt, and that works fine. His head does rotate left and right, no problem. So do be aware that he can't do a full 360 because of the way these tubes connect to his head. So you're mainly going to get left and right movement. If you try going all the way around, you might accidentally tear these tubes, so do be aware of that. He can look up even further because there is a ball joint going from his neck into his torso, and that can help him look down. Although it's really hard for him to look down with just his neck, just because of how massive his neck is. Arms are on ball joints going into a socket on the torso, so they do go back and forward really well. So I do like that. As you can see, they go up, down, all the way around, so really good movement there. And yeah, mine does pop, my Venom tube does pop out, so do be aware of that. So again, really nice movement there. Arms do go out to about that far, so we do get full horizontal. They would do a full 360, but again, gotta watch that Venom tube because it will get caught and you don't want to be ripping those out. Yeah. We do have a bicep swivel, which works no problem. Really good movement there. A double bend in the elbow, giving us much better than 90 degrees. I really do like that on Bane. We do have a ball hinge style wrist here, so we do get some in and out movement with it. Or you could always turn that peg to get up and down movement. Mine is a little bit stiff, so I do have to heat that up just to get it to work, but in and out movement works fine for Bane. We do have a torso joint at the middle of the torso, so we do get some really nice movement there. As you can see, it does go back, does go forward, goes side to side, as well as rotate. He also does have a secondary ball joint down here in the waist, so it does go back even further, goes forward, and not too much, but when you mix both joints together, he gets pretty good crunch, so I do like that. And of course we do get rotation there. Be careful, again, Venom tubes could pop out. Now, I have had an issue with the left leg where if I move it too much, it does pop off, and that's actually an issue I've seen with a lot of other figures, so do be careful with your Bane. If you feel the leg is sliding off, you can just go ahead and slide that back on, and it's a really nice joint, so you don't have to worry about it breaking. Just be aware that it might slip off, and it's really squeaky as you can hear, but I don't think it's gonna break. But legs do go forward, they go back, although I don't think they're supposed to go all the way back because the tube will of course snag. They go out to the side, a really nice range. We do have thigh swivel up high, and that works good. We do have double bend at the knee, going back quite a good range. A lot of his legs down here are squeaky, but they don't feel like they're going to break, so I do like that. We do have some pivot at the ankle, some forward and back movement on the ankle, and then of course we do have a toe hinge, although it really doesn't move all too well. So overall, Bane here has some really good articulation, and he scales wonderfully. He's quite a big figure, I'm not going to lie about that. Maybe too big, but I think it's better to go big than have him too small. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get him standing for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the Storm Collectibles Injustice Gods Among Us Bane pose for my final thoughts. Overall, I really love the way this figure came out, even though I can see a lot of people being a little disappointed with how big he is. Some people might say he's a little too big. I think he is quite big, maybe a little too big for a 1/12 scale. However, I still think this is a good representation of Bane from the Injustice video game. I really did have a lot of fun playing Injustice back when it was out, so I can say I'm fairly enjoying this figure. Now, I can understand that a lot of people aren't going to like this particular version of Bane. Me, I'm a fan of Bane, and I think this is one of the better looks he's had throughout the years. Coming from a video game and NetherRealm Studios, I think this is a really good interpretation of Bane. He has size, he looks massive, he looks dangerous, and what more could you want out of a Bane figure? Now, if you are looking for this Bane figure, he is starting to hit stores at the time I'm making this video, so check your local comic book stores, GameStop, or online retail such as Bluefin and BigBadToyStore.com, where he is available right now. And that's one thing I do want to point out, is that this is a beefy figure, and he will run you an upwards of $100 shipped. No matter what website you get them from or a comic book store, you are looking to pay at least $100 for this figure. I ended up paying about $101 after tax and shipping, so that's pretty fair considering he's a really big figure. His sculpt is completely and 100% unique, and I do appreciate the fact that Storm Collectibles gave us an Injustice Bane. He looks good when you pose him next to other figures, especially other Storm Collectible figures, so if you do have a Storm Collectibles display, he's gonna fit in there perfectly. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other Storm Collectible videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you'd like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, don't forget to check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos. And as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.